Okay, so let's take a look at practice 13. And practice 13 consists of a 4 segment of practice activities. And all these practices to learn multi-tenant architecture in RAC environment. So let's take a look at overview. In this practice, and you will learn architecture and structure of CDB1 database. That's what we created as a part of a practice 12. And also, you will work with various components, including PDB1, and you will clone it. And also, you will learn connection management, and also you will learn other topics like dropping PDB in the CDB database. Practice 13-1, and we're going to look at CDB architecture and structure in RAC environment. The structure, the physical structure is about same, but instance location is different. So your structure can be presented to multiple instances. That's the only difference. But physical architecture and structure it should be about same as a single instance database. Okay, so I'm going to start one window. And now we will connect to host 01, grid at host 01. And I will set environment variables. And let's take a look at server pool status and configuration. And free and generic server pool, these are default, so you cannot touch. And we created CDB1 pool, and its cardinality is 3. And this is my database servers in the server pool. And you can only display specified server pool status information. So it only shows you CDB1 pool information. And next thing what we're going to do is we're going to open new terminal and connect Edge Oracle to host 01. And I will copy Oracle Home and export path. And then I'm going to check the instance location. My database was created with a multi-tenant architecture, and this physical structure presented to CDB1_1, CDB1_2, CDB1_3. And this database is a policy managed database. So instance location is not fixed. And you can also run pgrep-l CDB1_3. So it shows you all list of background processes that belong to CDB1_3 instance. So that's what you can test. So many actual background processes, as you can see. And we can also check a listener. And as you can see, we have a ASM related service, and we also have the service to instance called CDB1_1, and also we also have another service, and this is to connect to PDB1 database through instance 1_3. In the current CDB1 database, one PDB database exists, and we can make connection to PDB1 by using service named PDB1 through CDB1_3. So that's what we can see from status of a listener. So that's what you can see. And then check the services on the second node. So it should be about same. So I'm going to connect to host 02. And then CDB1_2. Okay, it's not. So I can check current instance information, CDB1 underscore 2. Okay, I didn't update ORATEP file, so I can use this and this, and I will type Oracle Home manually. And then let me check listener status. So as you can see, through same service, and I can make connection to a CDB database, but instance location is different. So by going through service running on instance, I can access to CDB database. Actually, this is to connect to root container. And I can also use a PDB1 service to connect to PDB1 database by going through this instance. That's what you can see. And then you can also check few more things. Exit out. And .oraenv CDB 1_3. And Oracle Home is this. And I will stop this database. When you stop this database, all instances will be down, so there will be no access point to the same database. So we will have to wait until everything is down. So starting up database and stopping database, it is essentially same as a single, the standard architecture database. But the only difference is physical structure. And data files are grouped as a container or pluggable database. And that's the only difference. Okay, now I'm going to check status. So as you can see, everything is down. I'm going to restart CDB1 database, and I will recheck status of instances. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time. Okay, now I'm going to check status. Now everything is up and running. So if you want to see more detailed information, you can type verbose. Then it will show you open status as well. Is it mount to state, or is it in a no mount to state, or open state? So you will get more information. The next thing what we're going to do is we're going to use a SQL Plus to connect to instances of a CDB1, and then we will check undo, and we will check online redo groups. So we're going to log in as a sysdba. And let's take a look at my database name. As you can see, my database name is a CDB1. Its architecture is multi-tenant architecture. And what is your current connected instance name? So it's a CDB1_3. So my current user, which is sys user, and this user connected to CDB1 database through this instance. But actually, when you type show con name, and you will see root container. So sys user connected to instance to access to root container in the physical location. Okay, so that's more detailed information. And also, you can check undo table space. And we learned that, and we will have to assign one undo table space to each instance in the 3-node RAC database, and there will be 3 active undo table spaces, and just like this example. So, standard architecture in RAC embodiment, multi-tenant database architecture in RAC embodiment, it's exactly same. And also, online reader group assigned to container ID 0. Container ID 0, it is a database platform. Okay, and there will be different container IDs. Container ID is 0, so it itself database platform component. Container ID 1 is root container that consists of a system data files, and container ID 2 is read-only the container that include only template information. Container ID 3, from container ID 3, we can actually create pluggable databases. Now let's take a look at some more information. And we have a PDB1 database. As you can see, PID3, that's a pluggable database. And PID2, it is a seed container. And then we can also check open status. According to this, seed container is a template. So that's why it's always a read-only. But PDB1, it is a regular PDB database, so it is a mounted. And you can connect to PDB1 database by altering session. And you can connect to container PDB1. Container and pluggable database is essentially same, okay? But container include a root container, but root container is not pluggable database. So that's the only difference. And then you can type show con name, and this is a PDB1. So I was able to connect to PDB1. But, did you provide the username and password? Let's take a look at here. So I was able to connect to PDB1 as a sys user, meaning that alter session set command only works when you connect to container database as the same connected user. So I log in to root container as a sys, thus I can change a container to PDB1 as the same user. So that's what you can see. And I'm going to actually connect to a root container with the sysdba. And also you will see list of services available. As a part of, I believe, lesson 8, and we learned default services, $6 background and $6 users, and these are the default services. And we also have a service for container database, and also we have XDB related service as well. And the question is, even though we created a PDB1 database, but there is no service associated. It is because we didn't start this pluggable database. So I can start this pluggable database, and eventually you will see read-write mode as open mode. So here we have a read-write, and see the container is read-only. So when you look at the $3 services, and you will see PDB1 service. Now it's available. And then I'm going to exit out. I'm going to switch to second node. Now we'll set environment variable through ORA env script. And I'm going to log in as a sysdba. And you run same command. So you will have pretty much the same information, and also the current connected instance will be different from the previous testing. So current instance information, instance name is a CDB1_2. And you connected as a sys, and your current location is root container. And you can also check pluggable database open mode. Now, even though you open the PDB1 in host share 1, however, PDB1 in the second instance, in the second host, is still mounted. And you can also change it, container as a sys user. And in the PDB, you can check pluggable database services. So it's a PDB1. And I will exit out. Now this time, I will log in as a grid user. And I will stop listener using srvctl stop listener command. And I will restart. I'm in the host share 1 right now. Since the listener is running from grid home, so that's why I connected as grid user account. And then I will log in. So I'm going to log in as SQL Plus no log. And then let's make connection. I'm going to use easy connect method. So I will provide host name, port number, service information. So I can log in. Password is different. So I will just log in again. I think I provided the wrong password. So I was able to connect. So in this case, my current location is CDB 1_3. And definitely you connected to PDB1 because we provided service information which named the PDB1. And you can also make connection to the PDB1 through second host. Is it possible? Let's try. No, I cannot connect. Why? So the reason is when we tested it before, PDB1 in the second instance, it was still mounted mode. That's why we couldn't log in through second instance. So what we're going to do, I'm going to log in as a sysdba, and I will make PDB1 available through CDB1 as well. By doing so, I can connect with this connect string. Okay, so my PDB database now visible to CDB1_2. And then I'm going to test with PDB through third instance. Okay, so I still have a problem, which means that the PDB is not visible to instance running on host 03. So if you want to test, I can do you can do this way: SSH and host 03 and check instance name. User 1 app Oracle product 12.201 Azure and db home_1. Okay, I will log in as sysdba. I'm in the root container, and you can type show PDBs. So as you can see, my PDB1 is still mounted. Okay, so I can just use alter pluggable database open or all open, in this case PDB1 open. So you can do this way locally. So I connected it to instance running on host 03. I checked the status of a PDB1. It was a mounted state, so that's why I couldn't connect to PDB1 through third instance. So, there was a region. And this was, simple testing. So we briefly reviewed the architecture of a multi-tenant database, and also we checked the connectivity, and also we checked the open mode of a PDB database, and we tested a few things. And this was a demonstration of a practice 13-1.